I'm bored. So story time. Alright, so I was talking to my grandmother-in-law one time, and I was telling her about how I like how she carries this certain light and energy around with her, and she has a certain type of insight on spiritual things, even with her being like a diehard Christian, right? And it carried on to these two stories that she told me about these pastors. Keep in mind, my in-laws are from Alabama because that's where this story starts at, in Alabama. Okay, so grandma was at church, service ended, and she walking out of church. Pastor called her back in to do something for him or for the church or whatever. And to her knowledge, it was two women already standing there that could have did this, right? But he called her all the way back in there to do it. She then expresses how Pastor basically be trying to make it look like he want these women in the church to be servants for him in the church. He even used words of God to manipulate their minds and basically make it seem like he higher or better than anyone in the church. So grandma said she realized this while she was doing the task, and she immediately got out of there, never returned to that church again. They even started calling her, trying to see where she was at. Like, all right, you don't have to come to service, just come to Bible study. We need your light and blah 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 blah. And I was like, grandma, this is what I'm telling you. Like, yo, your light is different. You know what I'm saying? But the second story, okay, so after that, she be back and forth from Alabama to Memphis. So she went to this church that's by the house or whatever, and she basically like feels the energy and shit, and she wants to build a relationship with the pastor. So she get to asking questions, and one of the questions she asked was, "What kind of Christian church this is?" His answer was, "We are a non-denominational church," which probably means they have no discriminations, right? Like they don't discriminate of what Christian you is, I guess. I don't know, like Methodist, Baptist, whatever the fuck. I don't know. I really don't know the difference between it for real, but I think that's what he was trying to say. But grandma do a little research on the church, figure out that they used to be a Baptist church when they started out, but because the people who were funding them were switched, they switched to non-denominational because that's what they were. And when this man was confronted about this, then he told her, "Oh, yeah, we switched because blah 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 blah," basically what she read. She even goes on to say not only does she feel like the pastors faked her, but she looked around in the service and she feel like these people were like fake spiritual. Like they were in there faking it, like fake Holy Ghosting and all this shit. Now, I brought y'all this story to basically show y'all how the church is really corrupt. Like these people in there doing what they gotta do to keep the church up. Like, and it starts with pastor. How you think the church is stand up in the first place? They know what's going on behind the scenes. Like he taking codes himself to preach certain things out the Bible himself. Like y'all can look into this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like it starts with pastor. So I brought y'all this story to show how corrupt the church really is. This is a first hand story that I heard. Like this is no secondhand witness. No, this is somebody who experienced this shit. You see what I'm saying? And I just did spells in school. I think we stopping by church next.